When your boss fires you for taking medical leave, that's illegal. Here's how we proved it. Parth, do the honors. Tell them how we settled that case for over 6 figures.
It's an interesting case. We had a client who was working for a big tech company and he needed some medical leave, which he had requested. He made it obvious to his boss, provided medical notes, and that's when his boss went through their policy handbook and they found this policy and claimed that he had sort of stolen private confidential information, such as sales lists. Of course, when we started to dig into it, we subpoenaed documents, we got all of their policies, and when you look through it, it's kind of obvious that all of the employees were always allowed to work remotely. This is a remote company. Our client lived in California. The company is based in New York. Of course, he had some of the company documents on his desktop, and so once we got through that, we started taking depositions, we were able to show that it didn't make sense. And once we were able to do that, before trial, they came begging to settle, and we were able to get our client what he was owed.
What were some of the obstacles you faced in that case?
One of the things that these companies often do is they're going to go through their policy handbook and they're always going to find something that, everybody does. They don't really ever enforce it, but when they want to retaliate, they're going to say that you violated this policy. So for us, it was very important to talk to other people, other employees, and figure out how does the workplace actually work. Do they ever fire anybody else for having company documents on their private laptop? And in this case, it was obvious that they didn't and they weren't going to be able to win.
What were some of the things that came out in deposition that made their case crumble?
They admitted that this company sort of spread across the globe. They have people working in London, Tel Aviv, New York, California, and so asking them about other times when they've enforced this really made it crumble.
And there were some motions that you had filed to put pressure on the other side. Can you go over some of those things that you did?
Absolutely. I think defense attorneys are really used to sort of leading and pushing because they're billing hourly. They love to bill hourly and they love to do a lot of unnecessary work. So what we did, and we like to be aggressive, we file everything, and where they're trying to hide evidence, where they're trying to not turn over what they should, we drag them in front of the arbitrator multiple times, and then we even filed a motion for summary judgment because in this case, luckily there was a contract and we can show exactly where the company had breached their own employment contract.
And all that motion work and depositions, that kind of forced their hand into settling.
Yeah, absolutely. They would love nothing more than to lay back. They have all the evidence. When you're an employee and you're going after an employer for something they did wrong, after your termination, they're going to have the emails, they're going to have all the policy documents, they're going to have everything. So you really need to have an effective and aggressive litigator who knows where the bodies are buried and is aggressive enough to go get them. If your job fired you after taking medical leave, don't give up. You have rights in the state of California. Give us a call.